former Public Service Cabinet Secretary Kajiado Muturi says his security has been withdrawn by the state. The former CS has alleged the officers were informed not to serve under his security detail anymore because he is fighting the government. Muturi, who had been increasingly critical of President William Ruto's government before he was sacked on March 26th, told journalists that again the president has just dialed the wrong number.
The reaction from government has been the immediate withdrawal of my security, which happened last evening. My security personnel were instructed not to report on duty on the basis that, as they told me, that I'm fighting the government. But I said it's okay. There are very many Kenyans without government security, and therefore it is not the kind of thing that really should worry somebody.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And members of parliament have observed a moment of silence following the passing of former Kajiado County Women Representative Janet Marania Teya yesterday. The House altered the standing orders to pay tribute to their colleague, whom they described as a passionate leader who championed for the women and girls' rights of Kajiado County.
The late Honorable Janet Teya passed on Monday, 7th April 2025. The late Teya was born on 28th September 1980 in Ilkilorit in Kajiado County.
That she attended all meetings and functions of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Board. We've met in several meetings. She had a lot of passion in serving that committee, Mr. Speaker.
This is a lady who defied all horns to do what she could do despite the condition that she lived with. This is a great encouragement to show that disability is not inability, Honorable Speaker.
Very hardworking, humble lady. She used to sit at the back there.
Teya and I and others, Koyo there, worked in the Labour Committee for 5 years during the 12th Parliament, and she was so determined, she attended all meetings.
We'll clearly emulate what Janet has done and ensure that many of our girls go to school. May her soul rest in peace.
Her death was confirmed yesterday by the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who expressed shock at the news. President William Ruto also mourned Teya, describing her as a passionate and distinguished public servant who served her people with dedication. Janet Teya served as the Kajiado County Women Rep in the 12th Parliament, where she was known for her commitment of public service and community development. The Kajiado Women Rep position joins the growing vacant seats in the country awaiting the reconstitution of the IEBC.
Pearl Newsbeat.
At the same time, leaders from Vihiga County have called for the quick reconstitution of the polls body following threats from some political figures to challenge the process in court. Senator Godfrey Sotsi and Beatrice Yangala, the women representative for Vihiga, or rather Beatrice Adagala, beg your pardon, emphasized that such legal challenges are not in the best interest of the people, but are instead delaying much needed representation. They voiced concern that the ongoing delays in the IEBC reconstitution are affecting development projects and denying local communities the democratic right to choose leaders as they wish.
Sisi tunaunga mkono hiyo IEBC ikue haraka iwezekanavyo. Wananchi wetu wameumia, watu wa huko Banisa, watu wa Magarini na MCS fulani, hawa watu hawana maendeleo kwa sababu IEBC hakuna.
Tunaomba kuna IEBC, ingawa kuna watu wengine shetani anawatumia wanakimbia kotini. Sisi tunataka IEBC ingie haraka. Tiriki East wakuwe na mbunge wao, kule Tiriki West wakuwe na mbunge wao.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of the National Assembly has approved the appointment of Judith Neya Pareno as the new Principal Secretary for the State Department for Justice, Human Rights and Constitutional Affairs. Neya will serve in the Office of the Attorney General and Department of Justice. Neya was among the nominated 14 individuals for the positions of Principal Secretaries in various state departments. The nominations were made in accordance with recommendations from the Public Service Commission and are part of efforts to enhance the implementation of the better agenda.
Pearl Newsbeat.
The ODM party has condemned the pockets of violence and disruptions happening in regions the party is conducting grassroots elections. In a statement, the party has reported ongoing grassroots elections are progressing smoothly and warned those plotting violence. The ODM CEO Oduoro Gweng further charged the party that it will be more vigilant ahead of the April 9th branch elections, warning of severe repercussions, including expulsion from the party if similar happenings are occurring across the country.
And apart from this unfortunate incident in Dhiwa, out of the 1,450 wards, there is no other mention. So one ward out of 1,450 wards, I don't know how that becomes now the story rather than the success that this exercise was. I might not know English very well, but when you talk about Ma, really, it communicates something. Maybe I'll go and read that again. And in all that story, a full page, I never saw any incident anywhere in Western.
ODM further announced that results from Monday's sub-branch elections were already being received by the National Elections Coordinating Committee. According to ODM, all elected delegates are now eligible to participate in the branch elections scheduled for Wednesday across all the 290 constituencies. At the same breath, the UDA party has completed all necessary arrangements for the second phase of its grassroots elections scheduled to take place on April 11th to 12th across the 22 counties. This development follows a high-level meeting chaired by the party chairperson and Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire at Hasla Plaza. The meeting convened the party National Steering Committee, the National Elections Board, and the management team to ensure a seamless electoral process. NEB Chairman Anthony Maura reported that the logistical preparations have been finalized with the elections materials ready for dispatch. The elections are set to commence on Friday, 11th of April. At the same time, the Farmers' Party has announced its exit from the ruling Kenya Kwanza Alliance over what it termed as dishonesty. In a letter to the chair of the Kenya Kwanza Coalition and the Registrar of Political Parties, the party said its National Executive Committee met and unanimously resolved to part ways with the Kenya Kwanza effective immediately. The party said it entered the coalition in good faith and with a shared vision, but with the time they have come to notice a trend of dishonesty and disregard of the Constitution.
Pearl Newsbeat.
Mombasa Governor Abdul Somar Nasir has announced the controlled demolition of a structurally unsafe building located at Abdul Nasser Road. The decision follows a thorough assessment by the county's engineers and the safety inspectors who deemed the building a threat to public safety due to severe structural weaknesses. Governor Nasir emphasized that the county government will not compromise on the safety of residents and visitors and that proactive measures will be taken to prevent any potential tragedies that may occur due to neglected buildings.
Pahali tumefika, there is no way out. Ni lazima kuwe na control demolition. Ili jumba lazima litaangushwa na jeshi. Na amri ambayo kwamba iliyoko ni kwa sababu ya wakazi wenyewe. Kilomita 1.2, 1.2 kilomita kutoka hiyo nyumba kwenda sehemu zote ni lazima kutakuwa na evacuation. Kesho kuanzia saa 12 asubuhi mtu yoyote asikae katika nyumba yake, asiende katika msikiti ulioko karibu na sehemu hiyo.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And further field, the South Sudan has criticized the revoking of U.S. visas for all its nationals after it says the Trump administration mistakenly deported a man to the world's newest country who was actually Congolese. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced the visa measure on Saturday. He said it was a response to South Sudan's refusal to accept the return of its citizen being removed from the U.S. Both the South Sudan's foreign ministry said the move was based on a case involving someone who had been incorrectly identified out as South Sudanese. It added that the individual was returned to the sending country for further processing. This is the first time the U.S. is targeting all passport holders from a particular country since President Donald Trump returned to the White House in January, having campaigned on an anti-immigration platform with the promise of mass deportations.
Pearl Radio, the home of fresh and classic hits.